Oh, you should have seen it. So, there was this kid at the Dazzanite Temple, right? Yeah, that orphan kid they adopted a while back. Kiz. So, I've noticed she likes to pull pranks and cause a little bit of glorious chaos. As I'd expect no less of my people. But she was planning something big. So I decided to give her some lightning to really spice things up. Turns out, that kid went all the way to Montel and vandalized part of the Justicier's temple. oh, oh yeah, painted the faces on the statues of Rex, vandalized a mural, even put some of my lightning into their weaponry so that every time they picked it up it gave them a static shock. Oh, that shit was priceless. I've said it once and I'll say it again. My temple is where all the fun humans are. I should really make muses more often. Just think about how funny it would be to have all these anarchists running around with the ability to hurl lightning at will. I mean, it would be scary for everyone else, but it'd be pretty funny for me to watch. But that's what you get when you're part of my people. This temple, it's for the people who seek out other misfits and scoundrels. There's a certain sense of belonging when you find your people. I mean, if I'm being honest, that's something I learned when I finally came down here and met you. And them. And all of the Dazzanites here. I'm a divine, but there's only ever one of me. My brothers all have their own ways, and none of us actually see eye to eye. We're all so different. Which is ironic, considering we look quite similar. Except I'm still the most handsome. Well, if we're saying it, Beck's too nice and too gullible. Kel doesn't like speaking to any of us, and he just does his own thing, and only comes around when we need him. Leo is so buried in his studies and experiments, anything other than that doesn't pique his interest. Nyx is preoccupied, always. Can't get him to think of anything else. Vox, well, he used to be fun, like really fun. But then he got too invested in immortals. Which, isn't a bad thing, obviously. I'm down here living the dream, finally. But as divines, we never had to experience anything mortal. For instance, loss. When it was only us, nothing bad happened. Nothing bad could happen. We were like gods, above it all. But he clung too tightly to something of this world, and he still never fully recovered. And then there's Rex, the high and mighty. He thinks he's somehow doing Father's will by making us all miserable. But when Father was here, we never knew sorrow or loss or misery. The bad shit only started happening after Rex became in charge. So, ever since then, I've been bored out of my fucking mind, dude. So I decided that I'd come down here to the world my father left us and find my own fun if none of them were gonna help. And Father always fixed my mistakes in our youth, so I thought that if I came down here and made a bit of a mess, he would come back and fix it again. So I made some pretty bad storms. Hurled him around, caused some chaos, destroyed some of your shit for fun. But nothing. And eventually even that got boring. There's no fun in it if there's not someone laughing and having fun with you. And my brothers were all too busy doing their own things to care. And that's when I saw you dancing in one of my storms. Made me wonder. And I realized that Father had made a world full of different people, with more types of lives than just the cold shoulders of my brothers. And you, dancing in a storm, loving the chaos, and most of all, you never even met me, but decided, of your own free will, that I was the divine that you were going to have a special devotion to. So much so that you would chase storms just because it made you feel closer to me. A distant god figure. Unrealistic, but you still did it. Not expecting anything in return. You just wanted to feel closer to your divine. And I've gotta say, after the boring isolation of all of Rex's rules, having someone want to be close to me felt kind of amazing. Finally, I thought, someone who isn't boring. A fellow lover of fun. So, I decided, in all of my amazing godliness, to drop down, say hi. Despite the shit I would get from Rex. And then it hit me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about how much being up here messes the ideas he made. I don't give a fuck about if chaos breaks out, and I don't give a fuck if this world were to fall into ruin and split in half down the center. As long as I get to be with you, that's what I'm going to do. And nothing is going to stop me. Not Rex, not some stupid rules, hell, not even Father. And he'd have to come back if he wanted that. But I don't think he would mind, actually. In fact, I think he'd like you. Or does like you. I mean, you exist, so he must. Hell, it's hard not to like you. Imagine making a divine being descend from the heavens just to talk to you. Especially the coolest divine of them all. Lucky you, huh? Well then, I've made my decision. I'm gonna do what I want to, and what I want to do right now is be here with you. So why would I pull myself away if the only person who's shown that they cared about me for eons since my father left is here? Ha! To think a mortal is worried about the feelings of their god. You're a weird one, aren't you? But long live the weird. Life's more fun that way. And speaking of fun, I vow to always make your days with me exciting and thrilling. That's just who I am. It's what I do. So tell me, what would excite you the most right now? Ooh, shocking.